You're here for a setup for the GB Grand Prix or Silverstone in F1 22, so let's get right into it. Okay, so for the aerodynamics, we have trimmed a lot of wing. The 12-16 settings may seem low, but thankfully we get some rear stability back later in the setup. For the transmission, this part of the setup is all about getting the power through the rear wheels and into the asphalt, of course. We've gone with 90% on throttle diff to give you some added rear stability when getting your foot down out of the corners. The 54% off throttle diff creates some extra rotation on turning. For suspension geometry, the meta here hasn't changed too much. That means -2.5 and -1 on the cambers, with 0.05 and 0.20 on the toes is still the best option. Now for suspension, this part of the setup can be highly personal depending on your driving style, but these settings create a great platform for racing. We've gone with 1.2 on the suspension and 2.5 on the anti-roll bars. This lets the car flow through the sweeping changes of direction that are throughout the British GP circuit. The ride height is set to 2.3 to create some rake for rear stability. It can be so low because Silverstone is incredibly flat and has very few curbs that you need to ride. For brakes, there aren't many big stops at Silverstone, but of course braking late is always useful. We've gone with 100% pressure and 50% bias to give you the most stopping power possible. If you find this creates too many lockups, just drop the brake pressure a touch. And finally, for tyres, the new 18-inch Pirelli rubber is testing players so far this year. We've had good success with 23.3 psi on the fronts and 23 psi on the rears at Silverstone.